You enter the room. The presentation is ready, the metrics look good, and everyone around the table sees a highly competent professional. But internally, you hear something completely different. You have the degrees, you've earned the promotions, and secured the funding. Yet, instead of accepting these achievements as proof of your ability, your mind immediately begins building a case against your own legitimacy. The imposter phenomenon describes a cognitive inability to allow success to count as evidence. Competence remains high, but the internal filter for that competence has broken. Success rarely cures this doubt. For the imposter, hitting a goal simply raises the stakes of eventually being found out. These feelings typically arrive when we step into an unfamiliar environment or take on a level of responsibility we have never handled before. Moving into the unknown creates a psychological vacuum. There is a natural, unavoidable discomfort in not knowing exactly what you are supposed to do next. The mind often misinterprets this normal discomfort as a definitive confession of fraudulence. A genuine fraud relies on deliberate, ethical deception to trick others. A learner simply experiences normal human limitations in real time. This creates a persistent disconnect. The external evidence of progress is frequently drowned out by the immediate noise of our own uncertainty. This disconnect thrives in the competence gap. Professional environments often amplify feelings of inadequacy because performance is visible while the underlying uncertainty remains private. We make an unfair calculation, comparing our behind-the-scenes struggles against the polished highlight reel of everyone else. Positive feedback is instantly diverted into a bin labeled luck. Meanwhile, negative feedback bypasses all filters, locking into your mental accounting as proof of incompetence. You likely treat your colleagues with far more grace. You would never judge their minor errors using the same ruthless, unforgiving standard you apply to yourself. Objective self-assessment becomes impossible as long as the mind operates on this rigged evidence system. To untangle objective reality from these judgments, we look back 2,000 years. The ancient Stoics built a framework for managing internal disturbance and irrational fears. The foundational Stoic principle requires a strict separation between an objective event and the subjective judgment we attach to that event. The event might be, "I don't know the answer yet." That is a neutral fact. The toxic judgment added afterward is, "I am entirely incompetent." The philosopher Epictetus called this the dichotomy of control. It establishes a rigid boundary. On one side are the things within our direct agency, like our preparation and honesty. On the other side are the things we cannot fully command, like the opinions of others. Imposter anxiety is an obsession with controlling an imaginary audience inside your head. You are fighting to command an evaluation that isn't yours to command. Self-doubt will always arrive as a passing thought. Suffering begins when every passing thought is treated as a final verdict. The imposter trap creates a paralyzing assumption. You tell yourself you must feel completely confident before you are allowed to act. The Stoic approach reverses this. By taking responsible action, you generate action-based evidence. You do the work, and the confidence follows as a byproduct of that experience. This requires distinguishing between two internal voices. Useful doubt is a practical signal that you need more preparation. Destructive condemnation, on the other hand, simply attacks your identity. A failed performance is raw data. You can evaluate it and correct it. It only becomes a mental prison if you allow it to define your total worth as a human being. So you enter the high-stakes room again. The thought arrives, what if they find out I don't know everything? This time, the internal observer pauses and acknowledges that limitation. You will have gaps in your knowledge, and you will make mistakes. Accepting this is not a confession of fraudulence. It is a simple description of being human. Maturity allows for honest and effective action, even when certainty never arrives. You can stop agonizing over whether you deserve to be in the room. The only question that matters now is what you can contribute while you are there.